6:30, so we'll start the city council meeting for the city of Starbuck on July 8th. And we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First of all, I'd just like to apologize to everybody for any inconvenience regarding the assessment hearing. It had to be canceled, and I don't know if Nick from Woodseth, I don't know if you want to say anything about that or explain why, or could you come up and make sure everybody hears?
Yep, absolutely. Hi, I'm Nick with Widseth. I know the final assessment hearing for the 2020 Complete Streets project was scheduled for tonight. While we were preparing the documents to hold the hearing, an error in the spreadsheet that was used for the mailer was discovered. And so then the numbers that were presented to the council at the work session are correct, but the numbers that were used for the mailer that went out to the residents was not correct. And so we've corrected the error, but it wasn't before the letters had gone out, obviously, so.
So Woodseth found an error in their assessment or in their figures?
In the spreadsheet that was used for the mail merge, but not in the numbers that were presented to the council. What we did was we used a spreadsheet to generate all the.
Could speak up a little louder, please. Some people can't hear you.
We used a spreadsheet to generate the mailers, and within that spreadsheet, there was an error in one of the calculations. And so it was not including some of the 8-inch PVC sanitary sewer in the overall calcs, and so that reduced the cost for the project overall in that particular spreadsheet. I'm not for sure how the error happened, but we did catch it, and so, but not in enough time to do anything before this hearing.
Well,
So
will the
we'll,
city get reimbursed for the costs they've gone through to set this up?
absolutely.
Hmm?
Yes,
Yes?
yes, they will.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And again, I'd like to apologize for any inconvenience as well.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry, we should have started with the roll call, Joan.
Sure. Mayor Swenson.
Here,
Counselor Border.
Here.
Counselor Tate.
Here.
Counselor Bacco.
Here.
Counselor Christensen.
okay. The first item on the agenda is a hearing to subdivide parcel 27-0409-001, which is owned by Lowry State Bank, and so if there's any comments, I'm sure you're all familiar with the location of the, and this is Dave, I don't know if you want to.
I'll just come up for a moment, and I have the buyer of our property is with me tonight also, Blake Nelson, and
Yeah, if you could.
I wanted to introduce Blake as well this evening. And so we've enjoyed our ownership of the property, but we've had it for an extended period of time, and there's some bank regulations that we are unable to own it indefinitely, and so that's what was the catalyst to our sale of the property. And Mr. Nelson has stepped forward, and he'll continue to, I know he will keep it in good order like our bank always attempted to do, so I'm very confident of him as a buyer. He's unsure yet of who his tenant will be. He's going to work on that next, looking for the next tenant. We left it vacant after the young lady that was a resident with her dog and pet care facility. And when she moved on, then we decided to move forward with our sale at that time. So if the council has any concerns for us, our bank tonight, we'd certainly. Okay. And there will be, we were able to talk to Joan prior to the meeting, so Mr. Nelson understands he'll go through the licensing process, and there'll be another inspection done to make sure everything stays in compliance with city ordinances, so. We're staying in Starbuck, but just not as quite with the same footprint that we had before, so. Appreciate everything that the city of Starbuck does and how well you do it all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dave. So I don't know if there's any comments from the public regarding the subdivision of this lot. That's where the drive-up ATM is and so forth on Highway 29 going south, so it's just basically going to divide it from the drive-up to the building that's
Essentially,
to the north of it.
Yeah, the concrete that's part of the ATM is part of the property that we're retaining, and Mr. Nelson will
Yep.
own everything north of that, essentially building the
Sure.
sidewalk areas and grass surrounding the buildings.
Okay. So I don't know if there's any comments. If not, we'll close the public hearing at 6:36 and move on to the next item on the agenda, which would be the consent agenda. And I don't know if anybody has any questions or discussion on the agenda or claims for payment or the minutes from previous meetings.
I'll make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay. So I have a motion by Councilman Gorder to approve the consent agenda, seconded by Councilman Tafe. Is there any further questions or discussion?
We were gonna make sure we added had Mark on the agenda,
Okay,
Mark Barden.
okay. Yeah, so we're adding Mark Barden to the agenda, and we're also adding, under the mayor, the Starbuck Locker fire. And I guess, do we have to mention this?
No, that was already.
That's on there? Okay. So. Okay, do you want to amend your motions?
Yep, I'll amend my motion to include, what was the gentleman's name that's going to be here? Mark Barden. Mark Barden? Oh, Mark Barden. Is on the agenda, and what was the other thing?
The locker fire.
Oh, the locker plant fire.
And I'll second that.
Okay, we have a amended motion from Councilman Gorder to approve the consent agenda as amended, seconded by Councilman Tafe. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is Widseth, and I don't know if you had anything else, Nick, to discuss? No, I don't. Okay. All right, then we'll move on to the next item, which is Mark Barden, who wants to speak to the council.
Hi, yeah, my name is Mark Barden, and I was wondering to know if I could get some help with my lot. Since Jared put up a parking lot, I've had a lot of water eroding on my land. This blacktop has been washing up and I can't mow it anymore.
We've been here for 20 years, and when we first moved in, there used to be a berm
In the back,
way in the back.
where the cul-de-sac
Because where all
was,
the houses are, back in that cul-de-sac, to catch the water. And then
Dean,
the guy that used to live where Jared lives now, he put a driveway in the back of his
yeah,
property.
he cut a hole in the berm, which caused all the water that was supposed to run all the way down, run through your property. And then when you built the parking lot, now it runs through my property.
So
I
now
don't think
all
that's
that
fair.
protection is gone from
Right.
protecting the water there. So now we're getting like a lot of erosion.
A lot of erosion, and I can't mow it.
Like the fill they put in, we're getting all the, do you call that, the tile?
tiles, yep.
And all that washing. We
Blacktop.
used to mow all the way to that property, you know, because we got a couple acres there. And we used to mow all the way up to where our property ended. And now we can't mow, I don't know how far.
Yeah.
It's
I
quite a
just
ways.
don't think it's fair that I have to deal with it when you people benefited. You sold the land, you're getting money for the land, you're getting interest on the contract for deed, you're getting property taxes from it now, and I got the problem because I wasn't notified that you even were gonna do that, and I called the city that same day, and they said they would make sure that I wouldn't have no water problems, and now here's what I got.
Well, and we've brought it to Jared's attention too.
Right, and he promised he wouldn't have that either,
We
so.
don't have it, yeah.
I just wanted to bring it to your attention that after I talked to you, and it was right after a pretty major rainstorm that we had.
Right.
And I drove by and the ditch there between your property and Jared's was completely dry. You know, there wasn't any water in there.
Well, no, it's not standing water, it's the running water that erodes the land, it washes all the dirt away. And then the tiles come up and I gotta go out and pick tiles and, you know, it's none of it's fair to me, you know?
I mean, Jared should actually, I don't know if it's Jared or Randy and Jared together, I don't know who did the finagling, but
I
we,
know Randy hauled in some dirt and so
Right,
forth.
he brought in 3 loads, but I don't know if that's gonna help, I feel like that's just a Band-Aid. He told me to put a berm, but it's not my responsibility to put a berm, is it? I mean, you guys made all the
So-
changes to all the land that made this problem, so why should I have to deal with it?
So you're saying the berm should be on the north side there so it doesn't come off the driveway from Jared's?
Right, yeah, because it all comes
it all
down,
comes down that hill,
it all comes down that
from where all the
hill.
houses are back there, you know?
There's a ditch there, and since Dean put that driveway in, it doesn't go down the ditch anymore. It goes through Jared's property and on onto my property. I didn't care when it was your property. I even offered to buy it 20 years ago,
Is
and they
it
wouldn't
coming
sell
off
it to
his
me.
driveway or off his lot there?
Off his lot or
Well, and
whatever.
then to top it off, when he clears the snow off his
Lot, he
car lot, he
pushes
pushes the
it
snow onto our land.
to wash
So
it
it's
away
like,
even faster.
really?
Yeah, he washes
It
away
just-
even faster then.
Yeah, I mean, come on, but
And
We
how
don't
far
see-
does your property line go to the west?
Well, my property line actually goes through his parking lot.
and we can't even, without his consent,
I can't get
we
no,
can't even get any dirt in there.
right. And I don't
Because we
even know
have
where
to
to
go
get
through
dirt
his
to be,
property.
right.
And see, we gave him the okay to go through our property to dump his dirt,
Right.
but
I mean, I gave you guys the permission to do all that work. Otherwise, if I wouldn't have let you trespass, you couldn't even built that lot because there wasn't enough room to build the lot.
Sure.
You know, I just feel like somebody should do something besides me. It shouldn't be thrown in my lap for doing you people a favor. You know, I just want the erosion quit and so I can mow my yard and, I mean, I don't know if
Do you
you've
plan
been here a
on
long
mowing the
time.
Do you plan on mowing the ditch too?
Well, no,
we've already been through that.
I've ruined 2 lawnmowers on the ditch, no.
So no, we don't mow that ditch.
No. I got a rake now, but maybe I will, but no, I don't plan on it, but
Okay.
I just don't know what to do, you know? I mean, society's built on honesty and people keeping their word, and I would have just assumed that that's the way it should be, but unless there's some extenuating circumstances, but to build his lot and walk away and say, well, it's not my problem anymore, that's not fair to me, you know? I mean,
Just the whole way the whole thing was handled from the beginning.
right,
I mean, we were not even notified.
right,
All of a sudden, we look out our back
and there's
window and
bulldozers
there's
back,
all
well,
this work going on. It's like, what's going on back there?
Yeah.
You know? Nobody even came and said a word.
and the minute he got his lot finished, the dump truck started dumping it in the back there, back by in the back. I don't even understand why they did that. You know, it's like somebody told him, just quit doing it, his lot's done, screw this guy. You know, that's the way I felt, because they could have brought in 15 more loads that they dumped in the back of your lot, back in the back there where your, what is it called, your transfer station is?
Okay.
So, I don't know what to do.
I don't know if anybody on the council has any questions, or?
I just need to know what's gonna happen. If you're not gonna do nothing, I guess there's not much I can do, but
Yeah,
I guess I don't have any pictures or
Yeah,
any evidence of what is actually occurring other than what you're
well,
what you're
the
saying.
clerk said she looked at the before and after, and you guys can look at that if you want. I don't know how to print pictures off that stuff, so.
Like on Google Map or
I think what
whatever.
I'm going to suggest, and council can disagree with me, but we'll talk with Jared and the city staff and see if there's any reasonable solution, and we'll probably discuss it and, make a decision at the next council meeting.
Okay, yeah, I
If
just,
that's all right, so,
yeah, I want to give you guys a chance to do something before I go some other route, but
yeah.
I just think it should be, the decent thing to do is to fix the problem for me, you know? You got 20 years of income from it now.
And I know this happened a few years ago. This has been like 3 years, but
I kept hoping they'd bring some in.
he
and-
was sick. He had
Yeah, I had cancer,
twice. He had cancer, and then we had heart issues going on, so
and I
we were
kept,
keeping up with all that.
Jared kept telling me he was gonna try to find some dirt and try to find some dirt,
And then it just got put on the back burner.
and then Jared just said, well, it's not my problem anymore, so I just,
Yeah.
what, I don't understand. It's-
Well, we'll get together with, like I say, Jared, city staff. We'll come and talk to you and see if we can come up with a reasonable solution. And
Yeah, I've been 20 years, I've been a good
You know.
patron of the, I, no trouble, no nothing, I just want to be treated fairly.
The council can make a final decision on August 12th or whatever, so,
Okay, yeah, it's been a few years, I can wait some more, I guess, but,
okay.
Appreciate it.
Well, thank you
Okay.
for coming.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So. Next item on the agenda is myself, and I just wanted to bring up the blight enforcement program, and we discussed that at the last council meeting. And we talked about transferring the program to the police department with some assistance from planning and zoning, and to look at the ordinance and if there's any revision or to the ordinance or to the fee schedule, that we'll look at that and bring it up at the next council meeting. But I guess I'd just like the council's approval at this time to transfer it to the police department, so.
I'll make the motion to transfer the blight enforcement to the police department.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion by Councilman Tafe to transfer the blight enforcement program to the police department, seconded by Councilman Gorder. Is there any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is the Starbuck Marina treatment update, and the survey company was supposed to do a survey of Lake Minnewaska and the marina today or tomorrow. I'm not sure if they got there today. I don't know if anybody knows. I haven't heard, but the survey should be done by tomorrow, and then the treatment of the marina will probably happen on the 15th, or the week of the 15th, which is a Monday through Friday, that all depends on the weather, so. But we've notified the marina people that have boats there and so forth, so there's no reason or need to close the marina, and so for the treatment, but just so everybody's aware that there will be treatment and people going through the marina the week of the 15th, so. I don't know if there's any questions or discussion on that. Okay, I'll move on to the next item, and that's, I just wanted to bring up the Starbuck locker fire, and we had a huge Heritage Day celebration, probably the biggest ever, and more people in town than we've ever had, and fortunately, the weather held off, but we had the tragedy of the fire, and from what I understand, Matthias Baird wants to rebuild and so forth, and the assessors are supposed to be there today to look at the insurance and so forth, so we don't have a lot of detail yet, but there's a number of people from the community that have already come forward and offered to look at assisting with anything that they need to rebuild, and we might have some fundraisers and so forth in the future or a GoFundMe page. I haven't talked to the fire department yet, but we'll be looking at possibly raising some funds to help them out rebuild. And that's something they want to do, and I'm sure if it's rebuilt, it'll be better and a greater asset to the city, so. So that's, I just wanted to let the council know too that I hope the city will help in any way they can that's necessary and within our authority to help them rebuild and so forth, so. Any questions or discussion? Okay. So we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the Police Department monthly report. Yeah, you all have it in your packets. I don't know if there's any questions or discussion on that. Mitch isn't here tonight. He had surgery on his back, what is it, last Monday, I believe, so he's still recovering from that, so. Next item on the agenda is Water and Sewer Department, and Randy Peterson is not here tonight, but we're looking to approve a purchase of 4 new tires for the Silverado water sewer truck for a cost of $1,260.62. You know, if there's any questions or discussion on that?
I'll make the motion to approve the purchase of 4 new tires for the water and sewer truck.
And I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Tafe to approve the purchase of 4 new tires for the 2018 Silverado water sewer truck for a cost of $1,260.62, seconded by Councilman Gorder. Is there any questions or discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is Joan Kirkblate, our clerk treasurer. Do we need a motion? Do we need a motion on the fire department?
No, just,
No, so we don't need a motion on that. So I'll turn it over to Joan for notice of the election filing dates.
Yeah, first, I just want to make everyone aware that there's some spots on the council up for election in November. 2 council members and the mayor, and the election filing dates are July 30th through August 13th. So if anybody's interested, come to the city and get the application, and there's a $2 filing fee for that, so. And then also, the Solar on Public Buildings Grant Program, we went through the pre-approval process for a grant for solar energy on the community center, the water plant, and the airports, and we were approved to submit a primary grant application for that, so that's moving forward, but we don't have final approval from Xcel Energy to actually be able to do the project, so they won't let us know until we apply for the grant. So that is all I have, unless anyone
So-
had any questions.
I'm in favor of pursuing the application and the grant. I don't know if there's any questions or discussion from the council on that.
I think we should move forward with it as well.
Yeah, I think we should keep moving forward with it as well.
I agree.
Okay, so we'll be moving forward with that. We're looking at possibly solar at the airport and wastewater plant, or
And
the
here.
water plant.
This building,
And,
community
and the
center.
community center, so. And we're currently subscribed to the Solar Gardens in Starbuck on 114, so we're already getting credits. I think last year we had, $10,000 in refund or something?
Roughly, I'd have to
Roughly
look.
10,000, so, that we got back from Excel because of the credits we had from the solar company, so. Anyway, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda is planning and zoning. I don't think we have anything there. Next item is the airport committee, and we have Tom Buchan's here.
Thank you, Gary. Just want to talk about Heritage Days a little bit. Gary mentioned we had a lot of people in town, and it takes a lot of people to put on an event like that. It's getting more and more involved every year, more to do. We try and add more events, more activities, and it just takes more people. And some of us are getting a little bit older, but we still hang in there. But I wanted to thank, first of all, the city office, the gals there, Joan and Charlene and Tiffany, for helping out, trying to keep everything organized. And whatever we have questions, they're always willing to help out and try and solve them. So thank you very much up front. Law enforcement kept everything rolling pretty good as far as the parade, and I'm sure the dance Friday night. I'm sure they were present there and everything and kept everything under control. So thanks to Mitch and his crew, and Mike and Randy for the keeping the grounds mowed up nice and picked up and trimmed up. I know down at the airport we got many comments about how nice it was and it is all the time actually. And we had, as far as the fly-in breakfast goes, we had 73 pilots that came in that were registered on our tally sheet. There maybe have been more but didn't sign in, but it was steady airplanes for a good 3-4 hours there. We served 1,217 breakfasts, which is probably the second highest number that we've had. Probably the all-school reunion about 25 years ago was probably our biggest one, but it was huge. We tried a couple of things different this year. We had the local retailers, we just contacted them to see if they'd do a little coupon book, and we handed out, probably had 15 or so retailers that did like a 2-for-1 or a buy one, get one, or 10% off or something, and we put all those coupons together and put them in a book and handed it out to the pilots to try and get them to come back or come downtown. And they were pretty receptive to that, and in order for them to get downtown, we had a trolley that ran, which did pretty well, the way I understand it. I think we may try that again next year, but I'm thinking we might have to do a little training on where the bike or the golf cart trail goes. I don't think he quite understands the route yet, so.
Maybe we can get a variance.
Maybe.
You keep looking at me, Tom, and insinuating something?
Well, I know you asked me beforehand if you ended up in jail if I'd bail you out. I said I might let you stay overnight.
Yeah, okay.
But thanks to all those volunteers that helped us out to make it a big event. I know Chris he does more than anybody, I think, him and Christie, so thanks to them for pitching in and doing what they do, and all the other volunteers that I can't possibly name right now, but and thanks to the city for helping out. You guys do the porta potties and the dumpsters, and as far as I know, everything went well, so. If something, in the fireworks, I think didn't quite make it that far that night, but sounds like they were awesome off the lake.
People fragged it up.
Yeah. I know the pictures I see are just really terrific. I think it was a good background to have them on the lake and easy for everybody to see, so we'll try that again next year too. If there's anything else that you think we can improve on next year, any other suggestions for activities or events, so let us know, and And again, the Chamber of Commerce sponsors it, and there's, the chamber is a lot more than just me. You know, we've got a whole full board there, and everybody pitches in at times and helps out with that, so.
I think the council would like to thank you, Tom, and the chamber. I know Ann does a lot of things there too, and you guys are kept really busy and you keep it going. Really appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll
thank you.
pass that on. We have a meeting next week, so. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Okay, we don't have any old business. We'll move on to the new business. The assessment hearing for the Complete Streets project was canceled due to a calculation error, and so the next item on the agenda is to discuss the self-service kayak rental proposal, and the last we heard is they're, I think, willing to put it down by the beach house, and they're still looking at a cost of $29,000. Their fees are gonna go up to 35, or they already have gone up to 35, but they'll honor the 29,000 price, and they can still get that in yet this year if we give them the go-ahead, and that would, you know, be 8 kayak rentals or paddle boards or whatever, and so forth, so. I don't know if anybody has any questions on that, or?
This would eventually pay for itself then, right, because of the.
Yeah, they're estimating, and there's 3 different levels of payback, depending on how much we want to charge. If we want to charge a minimal for rental, then the payback is slower. If we want to charge the maximum, you know, it'll be faster, but probably less business.
Right.
So maybe the middle ground or something is the best, I don't know. But they're saying about 2 to 3 years for payback to the city, and then after that, the city would get
Share in
a
the-
share in the proceeds, so.
Well, personally, I like the idea of having the kayak rental place as opposed to donations of a kayak of individuals for the beach department to kind of rent out and stuff. It takes a lot of the burden off of the employees down there, and so I think it's a good option to pursue.
I agree with you as well, that I like the idea of having this rental option. It's their kayaks that they're kind of responsible for maintaining, and we get a little bit of the share on it, so.
I should mention too that they cover all the insurance and the maintenance and any repairs or anything that needs to be made due to storms or whatever. So there's, after the initial cost, there's really no cost to the city for having this service and so forth, so.
And there's no money exchanging. It's a transaction on an app, so we wouldn't have to take time away from city employees to
Right,
exchange money.
right. So. I don't know if there's any other questions or discussion. If not, I'd like approval to move forward with that kayak rental business.
I'll make the motion to approve the kayak rental business down at the city beach.
I'll second.
Okay. So I have a proposal by, or motion by Councilman Tafe to move forward with the self-service kayak rental proposal. Seconded by Councilman Gorder. Is there any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is to approve the Berserker Cup Strongman competition in the city park on Saturday, August 24th.
I'll make a motion to approve the Berserker Cup Strongman competition in the city park on August 24th.
I'll second that. Okay. And I should mention that the city park will be closed on that day, but they will pay the city for what we normally charge for the shelters and use of the city park, so the city won't be out anything, and they draw participants from all over the Midwest and Canada and so forth, and the winners of the Berserker Cup go on to the national championship and so forth, so they used to have it up at Carlos Creek Winery for the last couple of years, and I think the most they had was about 400 people there, and but the last year, when they first advertised and made their first posting, they had about 2,000 responses. This year, they posted it once and we had over 5,000 responses. So hopefully it'll be a big event and bring a lot of people to Starbuck and get to see the city and so forth. So that being said, we have a motion by Councilman Christensen to move forward with or approve the Berserker Cup Strongman competition on August 24th, and seconded by Councilwoman Balko. Is there any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is to discuss the approval of the subdivision request from Lowry State Bank for parcel 27-0409-001.
I'll make a motion, we approve the subdivision request from Lowry State Bank for parcel number 27-0409-001.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilman Gorder to approve the subdivision request from Lowry State Bank for parcel 27-0409-001, seconded by Councilman Tafe. Is there any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is to approve a public hearing for the new floodplain ordinance for August 12th, 2024 council meeting.
I'll make the motion to approve the public hearing on the new floodplain ordinance on August 12th.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilman Tafe to approve the public hearing for the new floodplain ordinance for August 12th, 2024 council meeting, seconded by Councilman Christensen. Is there any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is to approve issuing our Deputy Clerk Tiffany Holton a credit card for City of Starbuck expenses.
I'll make the motion to approve a credit card to Tiffany Holton for City of Starbuck expenses.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Tafe to approve issuing Tiffany Holton a credit card for City of Starbuck expenses, seconded by Councilwoman Balko. Is there any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Last item on the agenda is to approve a new water heater for the community center, and I'll turn it over to Councilman Gorder to discuss that.
Today I was contacted by our city employee, Mike Erickson. Randy is on vacation this weekend. The commercial water heater, it's a 100-gallon commercial water heater, is leaking, and Mike and I did talk to a local plumber, and we discussed the situation. The commercial water heater has a price tag of about $13,000. There's a warranty of 6 years on that, and so we talked about installing two 40-gallon power vent residential water heaters, which run approximately $2,000 a piece. And I think I would recommend that we go that route, because even if we had to do it twice, it's still less expensive than the commercial water heater. And they do carry a 3-year warranty when they're used for commercial, so I'd like to recommend that we go ahead with that.
Is that a motion? I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Gorder to approve new water heaters for the community center, and seconded by Councilman Tafe. Is there any questions or discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Is there anything I forgot, gentlemen?
I make a motion,
So
we,
that concludes our meeting. I
Adjourn.
think I have a motion to adjourn, so we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.